course, is really not the issue. And then, of course, quite a number of areas in the country are underserved with a number of it. For example, if we want to look at the statistics of this country, close to about 8.5 million people are connected to power. But then most of them will not use that power because the tariffs are slightly a little bit higher. The other area is that the other places are in this, other people are connected to power. That, of course, if you are talking about solar in certain areas, there is that element of intermittency. So there are quite a number of things that are supposed to be done to improve that. And of course, lastly, what we are simply saying is, for us to achieve the 2028 deadline we've set for ourselves, which is close to about only 4-6 years from now, the government has to show leadership, county government have to show leadership, our development partners have also to come in a big way, and then there must also be good communication so that we demystify some of these things that are bordering traditions. And then we also target some of the areas which are underserved, and that's why Kostra is talking about the SNB, which is really targeting the 14 ASAL counties that, of course, are a little bit underserved. That is exactly. So this is something that must be given a holistic approach by all of us, but the government, the citizens, and the development partners, for us to achieve. I think a lot of stories goes into the COPs that goes on there. A lot. It's normally a very big gathering, very big gathering. But what do we get out of it? How do we follow it? What is the path through? Probably the promises which are made. Do we end up getting that kind of amount? So these are some of the things I really thought before I read what the Cabinet Secretary has sent me to do here. It is good for us to understand this in a very simple way, that there is need to do this, because at the end of the day, if that is not going to happen, then that threat we are fearing will actually bear with us. It's true, there are certain counties. If you went to Kilifi, for that matter, you realize that really those people worked on those trees in the best way possible until the land is bare. And nobody is actually doing their forestation right now. What about if it is replicated to the other counties? Then that would definitely become very dire. Without very much ado, distinguished guests, allow me to read the speech of the Cabinet Secretary. I'm pleased to welcome you all on this important occasion that marks the launch of the third Clean and Cook Week since the inception, that is in September 2020. This year's Clean Cooking theme is transforming enabling environment to achieve universal access to clean cooking by 2028. Cooking is a fundamental aspect of human life, and it is of cultural and social significance to different communities. However, in developing countries like our country, it is mostly done by using biomass fuels, which are burned in traditional, inefficient cook stoves within poorly ventilated environments, thereby, of course, resulting into pollution, respiratory illness, heart problems, and even death. According to the World Health Organization, indoor health pollution remains the world's largest single environmental health risk. It contributes to over 4 million deaths annually across the world, most of them being those from the low-income countries. According to the Minister of Health of this republic, 23 Kenyans die every year as a result of that. In Kenya, 59% of the households use traditional fireplace for cooking, while only 30% of households have access to clean cooking solution. That is quite something very significant that really must be addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, our ministry considers reliance on open fires and traditional cook stoves and fuels to be one of the most pressing health and environmental problems that calls for urgent action. It is in this reason that we have identified cooking as a national development priority by setting target of the universal access to modern cooking energy services by 2028. This priority is in line with the national obligations for Sustainable Development Goals, SDG number 7. It also aligns itself to other national commitments contained in the Sustainable Energy for All Action Agenda and nationally determined contributions. These initiatives aim at accelerating actions on clean cooking in the interest of mitigating the effects of climate change associated with reliance on solid biomass and kerosene for cooking. To this end, the ministry initiated the development of the National Clean Cooking Strategy, the National Electric Cooking Strategy in 2021. This is facilitated through the technical assistance from the Climatically Compatible Growth of the UK, Partnering for Accelerated Climate Transition, Modern Energy Cooking Services, GIZ, Energizing Development, and of course the franchise development. It was a response to facilitate the government request to the Energy Transition Council. The National Clean Cooking Strategy defines the roadmap for increasing access to improved traditional and clean cooking solutions. These include climate-friendly efficient biomass stoves, as well as fuel switch from solid biomass and kerosene to cleaner, environmentally friendly options such as biomass, bioethanol, LPG, solar PV, and electrical cooking, among others. Implementation of the National Clean Cooking Strategy will be done through a delivery unit for clean cooking, which is being set up with technical assistance from the Clean Cooking Alliance. On the other hand, the electrical cooking strategy bridges the policy gap between electricity access, adoption of clean cooking. It aims to raise the profile of electricity in a viable options for mitigating the effects of climatic change associated with the use of polluting fuels for cooking. Interventions will take advantage of the 75 national access to electricity, 90% of which is renewable, to increase the percentage of households using electricity for cooking beyond 1% currently doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, the two strategies that are complemented by other strategies and policies, such as the bioenergy strategy of 2020 to 2027, which emphasizes the use of innovation platforms to promote sustainable bioenergy development. Secondly, National Energy Efficiency and Conservation Strategy 2020, which supports enhanced research, innovations, and economic incentive to promote the adoption of clean cooking solutions. And thirdly, Gender in Energy, which recognizes the role of clean cooking in women's empowerment and promotes environmental sustainability. Our country has demonstrated a high level of political will to implement coordinated actions that support the transition to clean cooking. It has also ensured that the same is incorporated in the National Integrated Energy Planning and Budget implementation of the Kenya Clean Cooking Energy Compact 2021, commits Kenya to ensure the availability of a valuable enabling environment, strengthen supply, and stimulate demand for clean cooking fuels and technologies, in addition to addressing the cross-cutting issues by 2030. Ladies and gentlemen, the partnership with Clean Cooking Association of Kenya and with support from the partners, we have since 2020 been hosting this event week with the objective of raising visibility of clean cooking initiatives at the national and county level. As we launch the third Clean Cooking Week today, since its inception 3 years ago, the focus will definitely be transforming on the enabling environment to achieve universal clean cooking by 2028, which is 6 years from now. Formal strategies for achieving this includes the National Clean Cooking Strategy and the Electric Cooking Strategy.